Trump is working behind the scenes right now on a plan that could trigger the next part of this bull run for crypto. And he's mentioned that he's announcing an executive order related to crypto on his first day in office. And really, with him and the rest of the presidency, Senate, being so bullish on crypto in our first crypto presidency, this is really going to be the golden age of crypto and could lead to a super cycle this year. And so I'm going to explain this secret plans that he's working on and what it could potentially mean not only for Bitcoin but other cryptos. And I'll also explain the 5 areas that you want to be potentially invested in this year to take advantage of the crazy gains that we're going to see coming here. And I'm also going to talk about a few coins within these areas that could potentially give you some huge gains as well. So hit the like button and follow me if you're not already. You can follow me on Twitter at 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗁𝗃 with 2 I's. And you can see here on my Twitter that I post when I buy and sell cryptos. And for example, this one here, Colin, this is an AI agent crypto. And I mentioned this at $4.5 million market cap. And it's now sitting at a $35 million market cap. So about a 9x there. So if you want to catch calls like this as I buy things, you can follow me there on X. And really, this is one of the most underrated pages on X here that I have because of the value that I provide. And one thing that I recently posted too here is that I said this man will send Bitcoin to 200K this year. Picture of Donald Trump holding Bitcoin. And then Robert Kiyosaki, at least, is probably looking at this post and trying to one-up me here because he said the same thing pretty much, but he's one-upping me and he's saying Bitcoin over 100K, predict 250K this year, buying more. So Robert Kiyosaki is the famous rich dad, poor dad guy, if you don't know about that. Big investor in gold and real estate, and he's super bullish, as you can see, on Bitcoin. And not just him, pretty much all these crypto-related, hedge funds and predictions are looking at around 200K for Bitcoin this year, like Standard Chartered and Fundstrat and others are predicting a very bullish year for Bitcoin. And then this post here from Mr. Crypto, this Bitcoin breakout will have a price target of 145,000. You are not bullish enough. And so this is a descending wedge pattern here, which is typically a bullish pattern. And once this breaks out, we could head up to that $145,000 range fairly quickly. And you can see that we potentially have more downside in this wedge. We could go back down where we were to around 92,000 before we head back up. But eventually, and this is showing that by February, we'll either have a break to the downside or upside, and likely this is going to be an upside break here. And one of these bullish catalysts is that the government could potentially start a Bitcoin strategic reserve, buying up Bitcoin, and there's now a 37% chance on Polymarket betting platform that this will happen within the first 100 days of Trump's presidency. And this has been going up after being under 20%. And this really reminds me of back in 2024 in like 1st of October when Polymarket came out with their will Bitcoin hit 100K by the end of the year. And there was only a 19% chance at the beginning of October. They said that it would have hit 100K. And as you can see from another tweet that I did here, I said on September 29th, I said, way too low, we'll hit 100K easy. And so we ended up hitting 100K, of course. So if you would have took that bet at around 19% on Polymarket, you could have made a lot of money. And this is when Bitcoin was at 65K, and I was one of the only people out there with the balls to say that it would go to 100K by the end of the year. So, and now getting into this big news, guys, that we can see here. Trump's secret plan to pump crypto that he's working on. And it says Trump plans to create a strategic reserve of altcoins founded in the US like XRP and Solana. Not only Bitcoin, Trump is now planning to create altcoin strategic reserve too. So this is huge. Potentially a strategic reserve, not only of Bitcoin, but these US-based altcoins. And of course, this is not a done deal, but as we can see down here, the idea of an America First strategic reserve that would prioritize digital coins founded in the US like Solana, USD Coin, and Ripple. In recent weeks, Trump has met with the founders of these coins and, sources said, is receptive to the idea. So, of course, not a guarantee, but he's sort of working behind the scenes here and looking at potentially adding these other coins to our strategic reserve here. And my last video was about will Trump end the Fed? And so you can go back and watch that if you haven't. But in there I talk about how Trump could potentially end the Fed or limit its power to where he has more say on setting interest rates. And if he does that, he's going to cut interest rates like he did in his last term, lower. And that would be even more bullish for, of course, Bitcoin and crypto as well. And so let's get into these 5 areas now to look at for the biggest potential gains in 2025. And so the first area here is these US-based coins with Trump coming into office and strategic reserve. Not only that, but he's also mentioned zero capital gains tax for these US-based coins, which is huge. And also we could have ETFs this year. There's mention of an XRP ETF, Solana ETF, and potentially a Link ETF. And so those are a few to look at. And looking at XRP here, which has just been on a tear lately, Japan has confirmed a public announcement that every bank in Japan will use XRP in 2025. So that's really stimulating a lot of the growth that we're seeing and interest in XRP. And then we have Ethereum, which people really aren't paying attention to, but it's still seen as the institutional layer for DeFi and things like that. Even though it's kind of a crappy user experience and fees are high on the network, it's still seen as that institutional layer, and it does have an ETF backing it. And so that could do well here too. And then things like Link, I'm bullish on Link too. This is a infrastructure play, basically, where it's pretty much in everything on the blockchain, like transactions, smart contracts. It has a hand in all these things. And so because it's so heavily integrated in the infrastructure, I like this play to look at for some big gains too this year. And Trump's company, World Liberty Financial, are invested in ETH, Bitcoin, Link, Aave, and I think a couple others. So these are the coins you could look at to potentially be added to the strategic reserve as well. And then the second narrative to look at is AI, and specifically AI agents. These have really taken off in the past few months and give the biggest returns in 2024, and that should continue to be the case here in 2025. And so just a few that I mentioned on this channel here, AI16Z is basically an AI agent infrastructure play. That's one of the biggest here. And I started talking about this at around 40 cents on this channel, and now it's around $1.37, and definitely has more room to run here. And then I also talked about Goat, which is basically the original AI agent. And this hasn't performed as well as I thought it would. It's down right now, but I think this is still a good opportunity to buy because this is the original. And 𝗏𝗏𝗏 has recently said that this Goat coin is like pretty much like what CryptoPunks are to NFTs. This Goat coin is to AI agents. And so a lot more people are going to be interested in investing in this, I think, because of that narrative. Another one that I like is 𝗥𝗲𝗏𝗁. This has also been doing really well lately. And this is another basically infrastructure play for AI agents. And I'll just mention here too that from this post, you can see that AI trend mirroring DeFi in 2020 to 2021. And from this chart, this is what DeFi did in the blue. And AI is tracking this pretty closely. and could potentially have that same explosive run that we saw with DeFi back in the last cycle. And so for AI and AI agents, this is going to be really the hottest narrative for 2025. The third area to look at here is meme coins. And while these have been down lately, and a lot of people are saying meme coins are dying and it's all about the AI right now, I still think that meme coins are going to do well this year, and that they'll actually, again, be right under AI and AI agents in terms of gains this year. So I think they're continue to be the second highest area for gains. And so some things I mentioned on this channel before are DOG, which is the meme coin on Bitcoin that I'm bullish on, and then Pepe coin, which is the OG Pepe that I'm bullish on as well. And the Pepe coin team has also created Based AI blockchain, which is a good AI coin too that I forgot to mention, but I would put that up there with the other ones I mentioned too for AI. And then we have a newer coin that I like, has a super interesting narrative, super interesting story, is this UFD coin. And this coin was created by a YouTuber who talks about gold and silver. And he kind of did it as a joke, or basically like a critique of how stupid meme coins are, right? So he's like, I'm going to create my own meme coin to show how stupid it is. And he didn't expect like any kind of big following on it or anything. But from here, we can see that this guy, Basement Ron, who's, they call him a boomer, but he's like 54, so not quite a boomer, but, older guy that started this meme coin. So Basement Ron here created this meme coin, and he called it Unicorn Fart Dust to emphasize his view that crypto has no intrinsic value, akin to fairy dust or something valueless. So it was a social experiment he did, but it really caught on, and people got into this coin, and it started this huge increase in the price. And part of it was, I think, just the name of the meme coin caught on, but basically what this shows here is that, reading here, this narrative illustrates how meme coins can sometimes defy expectations, turning from a jest into a notable market phenomenon driven by community, social media, and the ever unpredictable nature of the cryptocurrency market. So here at around $200 million, this UFD coin is the one that I like and that I started putting a little bit of money into as well. And then the fourth area to look at for big gains in 2025, I'm going to combine a couple here with RWA, Real World Assets, and DePin, since these are kind of a little bit similar. But as for Real World Assets, kind of the main one that I like that has the biggest market cap is Mantra DAO. So this is one that has a lot of adoption, and it did some crazy numbers in 2024. And I think it'll continue to increase by a big amount in 2025. And then a much lower cap here that just recently came out is Lingo. And Lingo has partnerships with Ondo Finance, who is partnered with BlackRock, sitting here at just a $50 million market cap. This is also one that could do a 10x pretty easily. And as far as DePin, if you watch this channel, I like the Peak network. This is a DePin, a blockchain that's completely focused on DePin, and it has a lot of good apps building on it right now. And you can see that we've had a dip here from 70 cents back to under 50 cents. And I think this is a good opportunity here to buy more Peak, because I think at around a $300 million market cap, this could easily do a 10x pretty soon. And then lastly here, the fifth area is going to be gaming. There are quite a few good plays in here, I think, and gaming hasn't really taken off like these other things, but I am bullish on gaming. And so a coin that I mentioned on this channel that I like is Prime. This is a game that actually integrates AI into it. And so I like that this hits two different narratives, both AI and gaming. Another one here that's been down lately that could be a good opportunity is Wilder World. This is basically gaming and metaverse. They're doing a lot of cool things over there. And then lastly, for an infrastructure play on gaming, is Super. This is basically already integrated or is going to be integrated to a lot of these big games. And so as an infrastructure play for gaming, I really like this one. This is also on a dip recently, so could be a good opportunity to buy that too. So that's it for this video, guys. Get ready for some fireworks in 2025 as Trump enters office. Make sure to like if you found this helpful, and we'll see you next time.